If you are a green card holder and you travel internationally, listen very carefully. Right now, at U.S. airports across the country, CBP officers are pulling green card holders into secondary inspection, asking them detailed questions, and in some cases, presenting them with a form that can cancel their permanent resident status on the spot. This is not a rumor. This is happening in 2026, and if you do not know your rights, you could lose everything. Stay with me. This video could save your green card. Welcome back to Immigration Radar USA, the channel that keeps you informed with the latest, most accurate U.S. immigration updates. I'm your host, and today we are covering one of the most important topics for green card holders in 2026. We are talking about major changes from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, also known as CBP, and the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, that are already in effect right now as you watch this video. These updates are based on official government sources, including a CBP final rule published in the Federal Register and effective December 26, 2025, Presidential Proclamation 2998, which took effect January 1, 2026, DHS enforcement memos issued in early 2026, and USCIS guidance on green card abandonment and travel rules. We have done the research so you don't have to. Let's get into it. Let's start with the biggest rule change. On December 26, 2025, a new DHS final rule went into effect. It is called the Collection of Biometric Data from Aliens Upon Entry to and Departure from the United States. What does this mean in plain English? It means that every time you enter or leave the United States and you are not a U.S. citizen, you will be required to give your biometric data. That includes your photograph, fingerprints, and potentially your iris scan. This applies to green card holders, H-1B, L-1, O-1, and all other visa holders, international visitors, even children, because the old age exemptions for travelers under 14 and over 79 have been removed. Before this rule, biometric collection at land borders was limited. Now CBP is authorized to collect facial biometrics at every airport, every land port, every seaport, and every other authorized point of entry or exit in the United States. And here is the critical part for green card holders. This facial recognition system will instantly compare your face against CBP databases, your visa records, your travel history, and immigration filings. If there is any discrepancy, anything that doesn't match, you can be flagged immediately and sent to secondary inspection. Now let's talk about the second major change, one that directly affects green card holders from specific countries. On January 1, 2026, Presidential Proclamation 2998 went into effect. This is an executive order that expands travel restrictions for nationals of certain countries. Now, here is what you need to understand. Green card holders are technically exempt from the travel ban itself. But, and this is a very important but, being exempt does not mean your re-entry is automatic or easy. When you land at a U.S. airport, CBP officers are now operating under expanded vetting mandates that require heightened scrutiny for lawful permanent residents who hold citizenship from countries listed under Proclamation 2998. If you are from one of those countries, you are far more likely to be directed to secondary inspection when you return from international travel. Let's explain secondary inspection, because this is where green cards can actually be at risk. When a CBP officer sends you to secondary inspection, it means you are taken to a separate area of the airport for additional questioning. This is not the normal immigration line. This is a private room with officers who are trained to determine whether you have abandoned your green card status. In secondary inspection, the officer may ask you, where do you live in the United States? Where do you work? Have you filed U.S. taxes? Do you have a U.S. bank account? Why were you abroad for so long? Who were you staying with? They are trying to build a picture. They want to know, is this person truly living in the United States, or have they abandoned their U.S. residence? And this brings us to the most dangerous thing that can happen in that room. If CBP believes you have abandoned your permanent residency, the officer may present you with a form called Form I-407, the Record of Abandonment of Lawful Permanent Resident Status. This form, if you sign it, means you are voluntarily giving up your green card, permanently. Here is the most important thing I will say in this entire video. Do not sign Form I-407 without first speaking to an immigration attorney. CBP officers cannot force you to sign it. They may put pressure on you. They may tell you that signing is the easy way out, but legally, you do not have to sign that form. If you refuse to sign Form I-407, CBP is legally required to issue you a notice to appear so that an immigration judge, not a CBP officer, can make the final decision about your status. Only an immigration judge can take away your green card, not a CBP officer at the airport. Now let's talk about what all of this means for you, the green card holder, and what you need to do to protect yourself. Impact. Number 1. Extended trips. Abroad are now high risk under current enforcement standards in 2026. Here is how CBP evaluates your travel. Under 6 months abroad, generally considered low risk. Most green card holders will have no issues returning. Between 6 months and 1 year abroad, this triggers automatic scrutiny. You are presumed to have a break in your continuous residency. Expect secondary inspection. Bring strong documentation. Over 1 year abroad without a re-entry permit, your green card is considered invalid for re-entry purposes. You will almost certainly be denied entry unless you have a valid re-entry permit, which is Form I-131, that you obtained from USCIS before you left the country. What has changed in 2026 is not the rules themselves. The 6-month and 1 year thresholds have existed for years. What has changed is how aggressively they are being enforced at ports of entry right now. Impact number 2. Your social media can be reviewed. There are increasing reports of CBP officers reviewing travelers' social media accounts during re-entry inspections. If your public social media shows photos, check-ins, or posts that suggest you have been living outside the United States, this can be used as evidence against you. Before you travel, review your social media accounts. Make sure nothing on your public profile contradicts your immigration filings. Impact. Number 3. Biometric mismatches can delay you. With the new biometric system now fully active, automated facial recognition is being used to compare your identity against your travel documents and immigration records in real time. Immigration attorneys are already reporting that clients are experiencing longer processing times and more referrals to secondary inspection, especially for green card holders with recent status changes, visa renewals, or pending filings with USCs. If your biometric data doesn't match cleanly, for any reason, you can expect delays. Here is what every green card holder should do before they travel internationally in 2026. Number 1. Keep your trips under 6 months whenever possible. If you must travel for longer, get a re-entry permit, Form I-131, from USCIS before you leave. Number 2. Carry strong documentation of your U.S. ties. This means pay stubs, tax returns, a lease or mortgage in your name, U.S. bank statements, and utility bills. The more evidence you have that your life is based in the United States, the better. Number 3. Know that you have the right to remain silent and to request an attorney. You are not required to answer every question CBP asks you, though staying calm and cooperative is always recommended. Number 4. Never sign Form I-407 at the airport without speaking to an immigration attorney first. If an officer pressures you to sign, politely ask to speak with a supervisor and request to contact an attorney. Number 5. If you are traveling from a country covered under Proclamation 109998, consult with an immigration attorney before you travel. Know what documents you need to have with you. Number 6. Consider naturalizing. If you are eligible to apply for U.S. citizenship, file Form N-400. U.S. citizens have no green card abandonment concerns, no travel duration restrictions, and no risk of losing their status at the airport. Let's do a quick summary of everything we covered today. Starting December 26, 2025, CBP now collects biometric data, including facial recognition, fingerprints, and iris scans from all non-U.S. citizens at every port of entry and exit. No age exemptions. Starting January 1, 2026, Presidential Proclamation 10998 has expanded travel restrictions for nationals from certain countries, and green card holders from those countries face heightened scrutiny when returning to the United States. In 2026, CBP officers are applying more aggressive enforcement standards for green card abandonment, especially for travelers who have been abroad for more than 6 months. If you are taken to secondary inspection, do not sign Form I-407 without speaking to an immigration attorney. Only an immigration judge, not a CBP officer, can take away your green card. Carry your documentation. Know your rights. Plan your travel carefully. And if you are eligible for citizenship, consider filing for naturalization. This is a rapidly changing area of U.S. immigration law, and the rules are being enforced more strictly than at any point in recent memory. You deserve to know what you're walking into when you come home. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone you know who has a green card, and drop your questions in the comments below. We read every single one. And most importantly, thank you for watching Immigration Radar USA. Subscribe for the latest U.S. immigration updates.